Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Draw Straws podcast, of course. Once again, I am Logan, and this is.
This is Nelson.
Yes. First of all, starting with how we are doing this week. What about how are you doing this week, Nelson?
Well, I mean, right now it's about 9:30 p.m. at night, and this is what we're doing. I just finished probably a long quiz
Yep.
related to my psychology class. It took longer than it needed to be, but I mean, the grade is what matters, I guess. Not
Yeah.
the,
How'd you do on it? Let's get a little bragging out of you.
oh, yeah, sure, because I need that. 15 out of 15. So,
Oh yeah. Gotta get it done. So, what did your day
the,
look like today, real quick?
uh, well, somehow got out of bed. That's the first thing. So I accomplished that, getting out of bed,
That's important.
um, within the first 10 minutes of waking up. So that's a plus for me.
Yep.
So,
That's impressive, actually. Usually it takes me about half an hour to get out of bed.
oh man, I look at the clock because I wake up and the first thing that I do is I reach my phone to turn off the alarm, and
Yep.
then I take my phone and I go back in bed, and then I
Yep.
text Maya, and I text her and I tell her, "Oh, good morning. I hope you slept well."
Yep.
Even though she'll text me 2 hours later, but I mean,
Text you two
that's
hours later.
that's priority number one.
Yep.
Reason being for why she texts me 2 hours later is because she's sleeping in, so that makes sense. I wouldn't blame her. I would do that if I could. So, and then priority number two is getting out of bed
Right.
and tending to my needs. So,
Of
I
course.
mean, I got out of bed and then just get ready for work. And one of my coworkers, I guess, was sick for the day. So you can imagine how that went. It was pretty chaotic,
Oh yeah.
but it wasn't too bad. I'm used to it anyways at this point.
Do you have
And
to fill
oh
in?
my, no, not necessarily fill in, but it's just the exact same stuff that I do pretty much every single time I'm there, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Um,
That's good.
only only downside to it is you get customers that will downplay you just for the sake of downplaying you, but that's okay. I'm used to it at this point.
Yeah.
There are
Typical
times where I
customers.
there are times where I come home and I don't even mention it to my mom or even my girlfriend. I don't bring it up to them because I already know how it works. It's the same cycle. It's pointless. But anyways, that's pretty much how it's been for my week. Nothing new really, I would say, um, in terms of that. So, how's it been for you?
Uh, well, first of all, sorry if I sound tired.
Oh,
It's
I
because
wouldn't
I
blame you.
am, mostly. This morning was good. I got, same thing. Wake up. That was good. That happened. Woke up to the alarm at 7:30, and
You sound so confident in that
yeah,
answer.
I'm not 100% sure what time I actually woke up. It was an alarm at some time. I think it was before 8:30 because I had to study for a test, a quiz this morning.
Yeah.
So I got up, grabbed my phone, went into bed, and closed my eyes and watched YouTube without looking. Um, and got out of bed half an hour later and started to get around, and then I left for school at 9, I think. Got there at
Yeah.
9:30, and then I what did I do? Oh yeah, I studied. I wrote down the derivatives of trigonometric functions 30 times. So that's how I have to memorize stuff.
Oh gosh.
Doesn't that sound like fun for calculus class?
Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds me. There was actually something that major happened.
Yeah?
I had to work on a project for one of my psychology classes, and it was like I
Yeah.
got it done in one sitting. I watched the movie, and then I wrote 6 pages on it, all in the same day. Tiresome, but it had to be done. So
Yeah, that's great. 6 pages, you said?
It's nuts. I
And you
mean,
did it in
hey,
one sitting?
I've done, what was it, a couple years ago for my English 101 class. I think it was like 12 pages long, I want to say.
Oh,
And the minimum requirement was like 7, I think.
man.
Pretty sure it was the minimum, bare minimum was 7 pages. But even then, for what I was talking about, I needed a lot more information to work with. And that's my problem. I over explain, but I digress. So, I mean, memorizing 30 uh, trigonometric, that's, look, my brain would melt. I'd give up.
Yeah, my brain is pretty fried. So we by the end of the class, he asked a really simple question that was on the last exam, and like nobody could answer it because it's a Friday morning, and and we're all dying. So I was just he said, "Come on, guys, you could do this. You could really do this. Don't give up yet." And we were all just sitting there like,
He knew. He knew the class was suffering.
"Yeah, he knew." So that
He
was
knew it
fun.
was suffering.
And then I drove home and I ate, and then I went to work. We did two beds and two flower beds, and planted some new flowers, so that was fun. And then I worked out, and then I took a shower, and now here we are.
Now here we are on the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah,
You can actually
that's
see I'm
nice.
wearing my pajama shirt underneath this shirt. This is what I wore today, but yeah, I have my pajama shirt underneath now.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
I mean that's how this week has looked. It's been a tiring week. Uh, lots of motivation, of course. Yes,
Oh yeah, I'm burnt out. I'm so burnt out. I took tomorrow off. I took Saturday off
that's
mainly
smart.
because my girlfriend, her sister, she's having a baby shower, and all the
Oh, that's
guys, I guess,
nice.
we're all going paintballing. So
Wow, that's cool.
I'm bringing my paintball gun, and I
Yeah.
bought a new tank. My girlfriend, bless her heart, she bought me a remote line because the one that I had was broken. So the
Wow.
remote line, I'm sure you're familiar with it. That's where it runs from the marker to the tank. It's just a cord,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I bought myself a hand pump so that way I could, pump the compressed air into the tank.
Oh yeah.
And good grief, it's a workout, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a workout. But
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if I get buff after that, I'm fine with that. I'm all for that.
Get buff while having
Uh,
fun there.
the reason why is because I want to zero in this. Actually, I have it right here. So we're getting off topic, but just a little bit information. I got this really cool. It's not a scope; it's a red dot sight actually.
Yeah.
Because the scope it would have a crosshair, whereas this is a red dot.
Cool.
That's not
Wow.
really a good definition, but
And that's
anyways.
for your paintball gun?
Yeah, this mounts onto Picatinny rail,
Cool.
so you can see. I love doing this. Oh crap! There we go.
Aha.
Can,
That's awesome. I love it.
so it flips up. Yeah,
How much was that?
and then
Do you know?
this was $50,
Oh wow. Huh.
and it's really good quality. I
Yeah.
haven't had any issues with it. A lot better than that last red dot sight that I had.
Yeah.
The other one I had to use an Allen wrench to zero it. This you just twist the knobs.
Hmm.
You twist the knobs.
Cool.
But I mean, you probably can't see. There it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah,
But
that is really cool. It's just like Call of Duty.
that's the point. So, I mean,
Tactical.
anyways, I know I'm getting off topic, but yeah, that's what's been happening with me. So that was one of the major that to keep it interesting. So
So we haven't discussed this yet, but not to put you on the spot, but do you have any big topics that you want to discuss today? Because I do have a few. I know you're drinking. Perfect timing.
Any big topics? I know you wanted to mention to me about. I haven't kept up with or anything in regards, but you told me there was a huge like span of tech news. I guess
Yeah.
something with Tesla, and then there was also. I want to say there's something else too, or
Yeah,
what is
there's
that? It?
definitely more.
Okay.
I've got a lot to
Uh,
talk about with you.
I think the only thing that I was interested in talking about, and I haven't done any research on it, so I guess we could just briefly talk about it if you'd like, is it's one of my favorite conspiracy theories is the moon landing,
Oh
whether or
yeah,
not
that's
it
right. Yeah, you wanted to talk
whether
about that.
I told you I'd remember it. I remembered it
Yeah,
all week. I
I
kept telling
totally
myself.
forgot. Yeah.
So
I'm glad
so
I asked you because I did not remember that at all.
so my girlfriend, her best friend, I guess, doesn't believe in the 1969 moon landing.
Yep.
She doesn't believe it. She thinks it's all fake. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what was it? Uh, to put Neil Armstrong on the moon, they used what, 4 kilobytes of RAM or something to get that
Yeah, it was
man on the
almost
moon.
nothing.
So
And your
it
phone
makes
is
you
more
wonder.
powerful than the processors that they use to put people on the moon.
I mean, then yeah, because the computers, like they were, as you know, all
Big
up against the
walls.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a really fun conspiracy theory because there is. I, I don't believe the evidence, but I think the evidence that supports that the moon landing was fake, I think that's really cool. I
Mhm.
do think it's cool because they mention that, well, in the photos that they took on the moon, why is it that there's no lights in the background? It's just black. Like,
Yeah.
let me let me pull up a photo of the moon. Let's see if I can find it. Let's
Good old Bing recommending all the news and stuff.
let's see. Yeah, it was one of these, I believe. One of these photos.
Yeah.
You can barely see it, but in the background there's no stars or anything like that.
Right.
I don't know what the explanation was, but what I do know is that this was one of the reasons why people think it was fake.
Mhm.
And I guess the lighting exactly, but that's just a reflection of the sun. So a lot of people were saying that the shadows came from those giant, what do you call them? Those huge lights in like theater, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
That was one of the things that I heard, but I mean, I think the evidence that supports that the moon landing was fake, I think that is really cool. But
Yeah.
you know, the more you read into it and look at it, it makes you wonder, man, it'd be crazy if they actually managed to actually, pull it off as the moon landing being fake.
Right.
That's crazy to me. But
It's almost like, is it crazier that we put people on the moon, or would it be crazier that they faked putting people on the moon?
I know, that's what I was thinking because
Not that I don't believe the moon landing happened. Like I'm pretty sure that it happened.
I think it happened, but I
Right.
think the evidence that suggests that it was fake
Yeah.
was I think that's also equally as important to some
Right.
extent.
Yeah.
But I know it's just fun to talk about,
Yeah.
but it's just a fun little
There are all
tinfoil
sorts
hat.
of fun
But
conspiracy theories surrounding the moon landings.
it, people were talking about, the flag being static and it's not wavy. There's no wind on the moon or anything.
Yeah.
But I think part of that is due to gravity, of course. I'm no expert, obviously, but
Right.
um,
Hmm.
a lot of this inspiration for what got me thinking about this was one of Joe Rogan's podcasts with Matt Walsh about his movie.
Yeah.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago for Am I Racist? And they were talking about that movie at first, and then that conversation led into pretty much about 2 or 3 hours worth of just talking about if the moon landing was fake and if they were to pull it off. I mean, if anything, I think this conspiracy theory next has an equal amount of weight next to the JFK assassination theory, I would say, to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't I do think I do think that the CIA was involved to some extent for the assassination of JFK, but I mean, it one of the things, especially for in regards to the moon landing, is I hear a lot of word now as of late for the 21st century that we do want to go back on the moon. We do want to put another man on the moon again,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason, it's now costing more now than it was then. And I guess you could account, inflation and research and government regulations and procedures, of course, because the procedures back then are a lot different compared to today.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah, that's interesting actually. Why
I,
why
I,
would it be more expensive then? Like especially since we have the rockets that SpaceX has created where the thrusters come back down or whatever it is,
yeah,
and they save money that way. It's like,
it,
interesting.
I, it makes me wonder. Okay, so if what Elon Musk, he wants to go to Mars, of course,
Right.
he does. He wants to put a man on Mars. I feel as if the first step to put a man on Mars is to put a man on the moon
Again.
beforehand.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think we should do that first.
Right. Yeah.
I think that would make us a lot more prepared.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same principles except just much different scale, right?
it just makes me wonder, okay, why can't we do it now? We obviously have the technology, we obviously have the resources. Why
Yeah.
is it just the lack of, because when I hear online, even in person, I hear so many people just tell me, yeah, I'd like for us to go back on the moon, but
I don't know. Maybe
I don't,
it's it.
may,
It sounds like the hype is just not really there yet, right? Because
I,
back
at
in the
the moment,
'60s, it was like, wow, this is crazy. This is big. And now that it's already happened, people are just like, you know, put another person on the moon. Sure. What is that going to be?
well, I mean, the only thing that we're doing at this point is we're just going to the ISS, and that's about it.
Yeah,
And
I guess
that's not
so.
even, I forgot what layer of the atmosphere it's on. I don't remember, but
I have no
I
idea.
mean, it's still appalling to me that I just wonder why we can't do it today. And like you said, oh, it's probably, the lack of interest. But I here's the thing, I don't mean to bring politics into this or anything, but I've heard from the Trump administration that they are interested in going back into space and putting another man on the moon. From what I've heard, I don't know if he's going to follow suit with that. I heard that a couple years back. I don't know if he's still going to go with that, but
That would be
I don't know.
interesting to see, I guess.
I mean, hey, in terms of politics, the only thing that I've seen as of late in regards to that, if you want to, we could talk about this later.
Sure.
But Elon Musk attending one of Trump's rallies, I thought that was interesting. And
Yeah.
then, or
Elon
I
Musk
thought
is
there
going
was
to be a big topic for today, actually.
okay, all right. Well, if you want, we could depending. I think that's a good stopping point for this. I I I
Sure.
feel like nose reveal. Um, yeah, I think that's a good segue into our next topic if you want.
All right.
So
So here
it's a
I have the next thing, and if you tune into my stream, you'll see it, and I think you're
yeah,
gonna
sure.
you're gonna love it. This is really cool. Um,
Let's see what we got here.
are you in?
Hang on one moment. Sorry, I'm trying to work out Discord. Show my camera. Show my screen share. Oh, non-video. There we go. All right.
All right. So I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because I want the music to play, but I don't want to get copy struck. So I'm going to talk over the music. Okay.
No, yeah, I wouldn't blame you.
Okay. So this is the Tesla event that they had last night. It's called We Robot, and they showed off this robot that Tesla's been working on. It's Optimus, and it's really impressive. Like, you see them dancing there, and they had them walking around and stuff. And if you look, you can see all the motions that they're making. They're really, really fluid motions. And this is like Disney animatronic levels of stuff, and it's really cool,
Dude,
I think.
This is the NAV level of animatronics. What are you on about?
Yeah.
This is Five Nights at Freddy's levels. Of stuff.
I know.
The next FNAF is gonna be crazy.
I know. And these are really they're crazy robots. They're lightweight. They're like 5'8", and they're lighter than the average 5'8" American. So it's really cool that they can accomplish something like that. And they didn't only reveal or show off these robots at this event. They also, all right, I'm gonna pause that so I don't have to continually talk. But
Is that what's his name? Who's playing in the background? Steve Winwood. Was that Steve Winwood playing in the background?
maybe I don't.
I think it was.
I wonder if it says. No, it doesn't say.
No, it doesn't say it. I
Dang.
think that was.
Number 6 on trending. Yeah, so it's pretty impressive.
I love Steve Winwood.
I know.
Great
He's so
music.
good. And it was good
Great
music for this as well. It was great.
That was good music for this. That's cool. That's new to me. So we got
Optimus Robot,
So,
that's what they're calling it.
Optimus. So Optimus Prime. Okay.
Yeah, and I have more to show you on that. Check this out. This is
Optimus
another
can
video.
talk?
Yeah. He also does sign language.
Hey Optimus, what's up?
How's it going, man? Enjoying the party?
Dude, that's
What do you
crazy.
think of the new Cybercab?
Cybercab looks amazing.
I know.
I'm trying to get a ride.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, me too.
The Cybercab looks amazing. I'm trying to get a ride. Isn't that awesome? And it sounds so real.
Dude, I'm so scared now for my career.
Yeah, I know. They just have him walking around, and they had him serving drinks, and they had him talking to people. It was insane. It was so cool, and they just sound
That-
like normal
that-
people. He's like,
that's
"What's up,
really-
man? You join the party?"
Yeah, that's crazy. What was it? Didn't Elon Musk talk about this in particular in regards to AI? He didn't want it to be so advanced to the point where they become self-sentient, I think. Or am
Yeah,
I wrong?
his stance now is that the good people have to make better AI than the bad people, and
Okay.
so he is trying to be the good people.
That makes sense, I guess.
Uh,
That's cool though. I would consider that to be a remarkable achievement. I mean,
It's
for at
big.
least well, for the Americans it's big, but for the Japanese, look, you pin this against like the Japan because in Japan, in some of the restaurants, they do have server robots.
hmm
I would say, if I'm being honest, I think the server robots in Japan are a little bit better. I might be wrong. If I have a frail memory,
I
but
don't know.
I don't know. Actually, I think I'm wrong completely. The server robots in Japan. Here, let me pull it up. Let me double check real quick. Wouldn't hurt to check.
It like I've seen a few clips of this robot talking to people, and it's just so impressive the way it sounds and
Okay.
the naturality of the voice. And
These things right here.
yeah, I've
they
seen those
move-
before.
They move like Roombas. So, I mean, actually, now that I'm looking at this, I would say the Optimus looks a lot more advanced than this. So
They're pretty impressive. And he said that they're going to be a commercial product, and you should be able to buy one for less than a car. He said less than $30,000. Which, if you think about it, is probably
would
not.
you ever get one?
Would I? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if I would.
I'm only a fifth of the way through my life if I live 100 years, right? So,
Yeah.
that's a long time to not have a technology like this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like another person that you can just have do whatever you need it to do, right? So it's gonna be
It's,
big.
my plumbing career is on the line.
Well, that's why I was saying you're gonna jinx it, because they can actually do stuff. They have
I
fingers that can manipulate stuff, right?
So what am I supposed to do then as a career?
I wouldn't worry too much. We just have to keep doing what we're doing. We can't be worried about this sort of stuff.
I mean, what's stopping an owner from hiring one of these to do all of their operations? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm being a little bit over exaggerant. I think I am, but
Well, and the thing
Man.
is, like, for companies, this is $30,000, right?
Yeah.
And people to hire are like basically at least $60,000 a year, right?
honestly,
So this
I
is like a
wouldn't be
one-time payment for a permanent worker.
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if McDonald's, all the fast food companies start doing this route instead.
Yeah,
I really do think they would do something like this.
probably. Yeah.
I mean, hey, they can't afford. I know. Well, even though they're multi-billion-dollar corporations, look. At the end of the day, can I just afford a hamburger, please?
I know, right?
Please. I paid $10. I paid $10 the other day for a what was it?
Quarter
Two
pounder or something.
cheeseburgers.
Oh, two
Two
cheeseburgers.
cheeseburgers
Wow. Oh my gosh. $10 for 2 cheeseburgers at
for
McDonald's?
the meal. For the meal. The meal.
The meal at McDonald's. They're saying they want
Hey.
the blizzards. I don't know what the heck that is.
Hey, will these robots fix the McDonald's ice cream machines?
Ooh, that'd be pretty good, right? They
That'd be pretty good. If they actually do, then I see this as a win.
Yeah. We may all lose our jobs, but at least the
I-
McDonald's ice cream machines will work.
Yeah, it's true. If only I could get this robot to do the taxes for me.
I
Oh.
mean, they showed
My
clips of
mom-
it watering plants. They showed clips of it teaching your kids. They showed it was
Oh.
crazy stuff.
Teaching your kids, what did it do? Did it take the iPad and hand it to them? Is that what it did? Or did it actually teach them like
No, I think it was
Num-
supposed to be like actual schooling type
A,
stuff.
B, C blocks?
And ChatGPT, we've talked about this, is pretty good at pretty good for learning stuff. Like, it's good at explaining stuff to you, and if you have questions, you can ask.
It's a great tool.
If
I
you
will say
if you
that.
had a robot like this that was like a personal tutor and you could just naturally talk to it, that would be better than anything, right? So this is only one of the 2 things that they revealed, or I guess they revealed 3, but this is one of the big
There's
things.
more?
Yes, check
Oh
this
my
out.
gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see this.
I muted this,
Let's see
but-
this.
but this is you'll see it. Oh my gosh!
I
look
think
at
I
this.
just saw a clip of it. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure I.
The car and that car too. They have so
Is, that,
this
is it a
this.
roadster?
Oh crap! I'm not showing my screen. Oh no, we're gonna
Oh,
replay
it's
that.
okay. I got the footage. We're
Okay,
good.
here we go. Okay, so this is a Top Gear video. They edited all this together. That was the car. These are the Optimus robots. They've got that van there. You can see it. And the van is cool because it's 20 passenger van. 20
What?
passengers. Yeah, isn't that awesome? And
No. Hang on. That's a limo.
Let's see if I can. Let's see.
That's a limo.
There's the car. There's the car. Where's the van? I want to see the van. There it is. You can see it in the background there. I could probably find a better picture somewhere here.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they have something online. No.
You want to look? Oh, here we go.
Oh, is that it? Dude, that's
Yeah.
like that's straight out.
Isn't
of
that
Tron.
awesome? I
That's
mean, it looks
cool.
stupid to me, but I think
It
I think it's
does.
awesome that it's like 20 passengers. That's really big. They come out of it
It's
like
like
a
a
clown
bus.
car. Check
It's
this
like
out.
a bus.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine going down the streets and you see?
You can
this
see him
coming
waving
towards
in there. The windows on the top.
you? That'd be sick.
Look at this. They come out of it like a clown car.
So you can configure it for goods transport within a
Isn't
city.
that crazy?
Or
Look at all that.
transport of up to 20 people at a time.
Up to 20 people
So this
at a time.
Now, is this going to be for like public transport, or is this going to be?
I think
like
he said
the
you can buy
ultra-
them. You'll be able to buy
Is
them.
this,
He
is
said
this going to also?
this is an Elon Musk promise, but it's like a ton. He said 2026 is what they're aiming for,
Yeah.
which means 2030. But it's pretty
Dude,
crazy. And he said
The world
for
is
the
getting
car.
so close to Black Ops 2. It's ridiculous.
I know.
We're getting so close to Black Ops 2's timeline. Jeez.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And I was thinking about like what would it mean to have, and these are fully self-driving cars, right? They don't have any human intervention at all.
There's no steering
There's
wheel.
no steering wheel, no pedals, no nothing.
Oh gosh, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm open to the idea, but I mean, I trust the data
They showed
that
they showed clips of their cars reacting to
is that other
unbelievable situations.
is that other
Unbelievable.
vehicle, is that sedan looking car also
Yes.
wheelless, or
No,
it it, all-
it's not
it's
wheelless.
got
It has wheels. Hang on, let me
it has
see.
a steering wheel? Okay.
No, sorry, I thought you meant like wheels on the car. No, it has it doesn't have a steering wheel.
This one doesn't either?
No, they're calling it the Cyber Taxi or Robo Taxi or something.
Oh my.
Look at that. And it just goes.
Uber's about to step up.
Well, he's saying like you can buy a bunch of these. They're supposed to be less than 30,000, he says, and you can. I think that's what he said. You can
Is this
buy a bunch
also
of these and manage a fleet of them and have like your own car company going to go pick people up and stuff, and then you own the car and you just have to clean them.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Wouldn't that be awesome? And like, my brother, he goes to school an hour and a half away, so it's a 3-hour drive if we want to go pick him up. You could just send this thing and it'll go pick him up. We don't have to do anything. And it'll pick him up at the right time. We don't have to, we just say, hey, car, go get him. Right? It's pretty cool. And they later on, they showed, they said, having so many cars on the road has allowed us to train models, and it allows our cars to deal with unexpected situations more than pretty much any other human has ever.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed all these crazy clips of these cars like almost crashing into them, and they maneuver out of the way, and it was insane to see. They're apparently very good at reacting to stuff, and I was super impressed. So I think these are going to be a lot safer than normal cars. Now, don't get me wrong, I love driving.
Trust this. I trust this more than the kickstart companies for like the self-driving stuff.
Right. Yeah.
This is a lot more, I would say, professional. Like they take it seriously. Like, yes, this is the next innovation. This is pretty much
Yeah.
the next thing that we want to be integrated into society.
This is like
The
an
first
Apple
thing-
moment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is an Apple iPhone moment. That's exactly what I was thinking right then and there with the robots and the self-driving cars. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now, can we get holograms, please? Can we get
They're
that
working on it.
already?
Yeah.
Can we please get that? Because I would love to have that. You know, the Tony Stark type of holograms
Yeah.
that we get
Right.
from those movies. Can we get that already? Because that'd be awesome. I'd
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
I know
pretty
they're
cool.
I know they're working on it, but
Well, I've seen
Man.
some AR glasses that do it, and you know Tony Stark has some AR glasses as well that he uses sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like Meta's new smart glasses that are not production. I've seen them. They're really impressive, actually.
they're big and bulky though.
They are a little bulky, yeah.
Yeah, they
Um,
look like minion goggles.
I've also seen another company. I think it's Panasonic, but I'm not 100% sure. They have this sprayer, and it sprays a super fine mist of water, and then it projects onto that mist, so it looks like a hologram, and it's actually really impressive. And the mist doesn't make a mess or anything because it's so fine. So it's actually pretty cool. I don't know what it's called at all, but I saw it somewhere on a video somewhere. But I've heard that they're kind of expensive and not very practical. So check this out. This is
One
the
of the
cool
reasons
part I
why-
was
well,
talking
ma-
about, where it
Oh,
reacts.
check this
the,
out.
the computer can be so much better
Oh,
than
hang
a
on.
Look at
person
this.
is
Hurry up.
We have millions of cars that are training on driving. So it's like living millions of lives simultaneously and seeing very unusual situations
Ah.
that a person in their
I don't
entire
think I could.
lifetime would not
I don't think
see.
I could get out of
but-
those accidents.
Hopefully.
Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just guys walking out
Exactly.
into the street.
So
Fire
so
truck.
with,
Oh
with
my
that amount of
gosh.
training data, it's obviously going to be much
Oh,
better than what a human could do. Because you can't live a million.
It's pretty ridiculous what these cars are already doing. Right? So I'm pretty impressed. What do you think?
When's that? Yeah, that's crazy. How I never thought. Well, I kind of figured it would happen in my lifetime that we would get to this kind of era of technology, but I didn't think we would get to it this soon.
Yeah.
I was thinking by my mid 30s or 40s, I was thinking that we were going to get to this level of technology at least.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Or
going
at
to be our
least-
mid-20s.
That's what I was thinking. Now it's going to be pretty much almost the normal because here's the thing for where we live. I'm seeing a lot of Cybertrucks lately.
Oh yeah, people like Tesla around here. California is
Well,
big on
yeah.
Tesla.
Well, it's unfortunate because, California at this point is banking on electric vehicles. And I do think
I know.
electric vehicles are good. I think they are. But the cost to make them, that's what's detrimental.
They're not
to the
competitive.
environment.
No,
That's true.
especially
So-
without government subsidies.
That is also, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm,
there are times where look before 2035, which I think that's what it is, where gas cars are no longer going to be up for sale. That's going to be my effort. Before 2035, I'm going to ensure I get a gas powered vehicle.
yeah,
That's what I'm going to ensure.
that's pretty smart. Yeah, I mean,
But because at this point, gas powered vehicles either, my guess is the price of them are going to. They already are going up, especially in California. So, and that's not just the economy. That's also just the value people now see in them. Like a 1990 Mazda MX-5 Miata
yeah,
a couple of years ago.
mm-hmm.
Look, say what you
Couple
will,
$1,000.
but yeah, and it didn't have that much. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, when I was looking at those cars, it didn't have that much popularity or relevance surrounding it. Now it does, and I'm salty because it's popular now.
Yeah, people love them, and now they're going for $10,000-$20,000.
I know, and it makes me sad. But it'll be. I wonder what life would be like 10 years from now,
Yeah,
where this video that you showed me basically becomes the norm. Like, I wonder if in 10 years we're gonna have
this.
some type of government issued some.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about. Like,
That's
if
my
they're going to be
worry.
way safer, it's going to be we're going to close in on government mandates on having a self-driving car and a car that you don't drive yourself.
I know, so they could basically restrict you for where you go, how far you can. Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it
that's
doesn't
my-
go that direction.
I hope they don't. Yeah, I hope it doesn't get subsidized. I really do. But
I mean,
that's my biggest fear.
yeah, it sounds like it like right now it sounds like it's going to be pretty good because I don't like driving to school every day on the freeway. It's not really fun. I'd like doing fun drives on the weekend. So
Yeah.
like stuff like that, fun drive on the weekend, and then just have this thing transport me to school. That's great. It's an hour
I
of
feel like-
driving.
This is going to be either the era of humble beginnings or the era of, I guess you could say, the calm before the storm,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
biggest fear is the calm before the storm. That's
Yeah.
what I don't want.
Yeah.
I want the era of humble beginnings. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want the other one, please. That's the last thing that I need to see in my lifetime. But
Right? Uh, yeah. So, anyway, needless to say, I was super impressed by this, and the robot, and then the car that doesn't have the steering wheel. It's like, that's it's gonna be a future that we go into. It's gonna be one of the futures of all time, and it's gonna be loaded with these things, I'm sure.
this is one of the weirdest timelines I've ever been in. I'm just gonna say that. Such a bizarre timeline.
Yeah. Out of all the timelines that I've lived in, this is the weirdest. So that was
Well,
a big thing. You have anything else to say on it? Cuz I could move on too.
that Twitter post was not wrong.
Which one?
I will. So there was a Twitter post back in 2015 where it said, "In 10 years, we predict that we're going to have so and so relations with robots, like romantic relationships." And
Ah.
I don't mean to bring it up, but after seeing that,
Yeah, my
oh well.
dad was like I was like, "Oh, this is going to be cool. Robot's going to help us, do all our chores and stuff." And he's like, "Everybody wants a sex robot."
That's what I was thinking in the back of my head because now at this point, all right, well, so much for, you know, human contact,
Yeah, right.
which
Well,
Logan,
and the problem is that these things fuel the
you
internet,
gotta
right?
you gotta listen to your dad.
Yeah.
You gotta go get a girl.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. I'm working on it, okay? I'm
I know
working.
you are.
Hey,
You're making
ladies,
an
I'm
effort.
single if you want to come find me.
This is a good man. He's got great genes, high intelligence. He says he's a narcissist. He's not. He is not. He is like the polar opposite of one.
I am a
So,
narcissist. Don't believe
no,
me.
he's not. Look, after we take the big five, no, nonsense.
Oh my
That'll be
gosh.
on the next podcast if we
Yeah,
want.
we'll
So,
see about it. Yeah.
'cause that's what your dad suggested to us. So,
Right? Yeah. Personality
but
test, we'll see.
that's my 2 cents. That's my piece.
All right. Well, next thing I wanted to talk about, and let's see, maybe we'll go for another half hour or so, right?
How far are we in?
Uh 40 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. If you want,
So let's see.
what you got on your mind?
I wanted to talk to you about what you think about the state of technology,
The
because
state of technology.
specifically like gaming stuff, right? We have
Gaming. Okay.
we have all these Xboxes. Oh, poop. I meant to do my scene, not yours. All these Xboxes.
Yeah.
The Series X's, the new Galaxy Edition, the white uh, discless one, and then the original, and then obviously the two Series S consoles. We had the normal PS5s. We had the PS5 Pro coming out.
The super duper Wi-Fi router.
Yeah. Okay. And we have
RTX
rumors.
5000.
Yeah, rumors about the 5000 series. And check out this price. Rumored price.
So
Can you
let's
see that?
see. Okay, take this with a grain of salt, but right now the NVIDIA RTX 5090 is rumored to cost between $2,000 and $2,500. According to Popular Leaker,
Yeah, that's the
the
big
video
one.
also suggests the 5080 may cost as much as $1,500 compared to the RTX 4090 and the RTX 4080, which cost $1,600 and $1,200 at launch. Respectively, this would be a massive price jump if these leaks are true.
Yeah.
That, but here's the thing. There's no matter, and we've talked about this before, especially with hardware. I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast specifically, but you came over and you built this PC. Not this is the Xbox, but over here with this PC, we've pretty much hit a plateau in gaming at this point.
Yeah.
For in terms of hardware, I would say
Yeah.
we both have top of the line hardware at this point. We got good CPUs, good GPUs. I don't mean to flex, but RX 7900 XTX.
Yep. He's got the big kahuna.
I love this card. This card has done so much for me in terms of frames, and
Sponsor
that's
us,
about it.
AMD.
Oh, AMD, please. I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
We're shills.
Sponsor me.
Oh no.
Sponsor me. Him and I, we will both build PCs just for you.
I
if
already
you
have an
sponsor.
AMD PC.
I do too. I have an AMD PC as well. I was originally on Team Green because it was more popular, and then you got me onto Team Red.
Yep.
So, but I think in regards to this, with the 5090 being between 1900 and 2499,
That's a lot of
which
money.
that's crazy.
It's a
Um,
lot of money.
and given the fact, here's the thing: no matter how powerful this hardware is, the games that we play aren't even going to be.
They're not
It's
going to
not
be
going
that
to
much
matter.
better on it.
No, it's not, because all they're going to do is they're going to have you use either FSR
Yep.
or
DLSS.
NVIDIA DLSS, and that's about it. Instead of actually optimizing the games to
Yep.
these cards, and
Mhm.
that's it. Like, yeah, okay, getting 360 hertz plus max frame rate, 360 FPS. I'm sure that's a dream. I'm sure it is, but is it really worth putting all that money into it when you could actually have I don't know, a PC that's around that budget? My computer was around that budget, between 2000 and 2500,
Yeah.
and
And now you're just
included
getting
in
a video card.
that's ridiculous. That's
Yeah, my entire
it,
PC was much less than this.
and then you take this, and then people like to make the argument that, well, then the PS5 Pro really isn't all that bad getting. No, it still is. It's a waste of money. Don't do it because you're giving into a problem.
Yeah.
Um, c-
As
there's no
far as
point.
I'm concerned, one
There's
of
like
these
no
is all
point
you
of
need.
upgrading. I agree. There is no point in upgrading. There really isn't. You're not getting any improvements. The only thing you're getting is a couple more pixels, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Whereas, if I'm not mistaken, is the Xbox Series X, those ones that you have listed on there, same exact hardware
Same exact
specs
hardware.
as this one right here?
The white one is exactly the same without a disk drive, and the sparkly one is exactly the same except it has an extra terabyte of storage built in.
That's the one that you got, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. It's on the
That's
way.
nice.
I'm gonna do
That's
I'm gonna do a review.
That's cool. I'll
Yeah.
be sure to watch it. That's really cool.
I'm not
That's
going to
neat.
plug my channel. I won't. But yeah, I mean, 30
Oh, you should
FPS
plug
is
your
all right
channel.
for some games, right?
Well, okay. When you take into account, if you take into account, let's say, for example, Rockstar Games.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense why they would use 30 FPS. As long as the tick rate and the input latency is low,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I just want something fun to play and something fun to enjoy. So, I feel like, if anything, Rockstar deserves to have that excuse for 30 FPS for whatever game or title that they put out.
Right.
I do think that. But for all these other companies like Ubisoft, Activision,
Well,
some of the
some
big
games
known,
do need a higher frame rate, right? Like if you're
I
playing
do
a
think that,
shooter, you're gonna want higher FPS.
yeah, because it's really competitive. But I mean, going back to what we said before about that Nvidia pricing, it seems so pointless to me to
It's
upgrade to that,
entirely excessive.
because the games aren't well optimized anymore, and
Yeah.
on top of that, you already have such good performance on your current build. What's even the point of upgrading to a new build? What's even the point?
Right. Well, the thing is, games are not increasing in graphical fidelity in the same way that they had in the past, right? So As far as
Are
I'm
they?
concerned, graphical fidelity hasn't increased since Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
No, it has not.
And that
It
was 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
2018.
Yeah, 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago.
And people mistaken that game for real life. People actually do. I've seen articles and I've seen videos on news feeds where they pull up
Yeah,
images of Red Dead Redemption 2.
right.
And specifically on PC. PC is what makes it look. I mean, you can kind of tell on console if it's real or fake,
Yeah, and I
but
think part of that is because it's made for last gen consoles. Like if you had an update, it would probably look a little bit better for current gen consoles. But yeah,
yeah.
I get what you're
Oh,
saying.
and speaking of that, yeah, I'll get a little sidetracked real quick. 15 years later, I think it was 15 or 14 years since Red Dead Redemption 1, we are finally getting a PC
Oh, I
port.
forgot about that. Yeah, that's
Finally,
crazy. Yeah,
I
I.
can play it on the Steam Deck. Good grief, man.
What in the world could have possibly caused them to make that move? Like, are they
The
struggling for
theory,
money?
no, I don't think it's no, no. Rockstar, they always report on their quarterly earnings. They're in the billions
Oh
because
my
of
gosh.
That's like Grand Theft Auto Online. That's the reason. GTA Online
Ah,
generates a lot of revenue.
yeah.
It generates more revenue than the actual main game itself.
Wow.
So, um, Rockstar, the theory is for why it took so long for Red Dead Redemption to get a port to PC is because of I guess, the coding frame, from what I've heard.
Mm,
Because when Rockstar was developing it for the PS3 and 360,
right.
they used dev kits on that platform for the PS3 and 360. They didn't develop it on PC and then port it to console. They didn't downgrade it to console to where it was playable. That's what most of these AAA games are doing. That's how it was for Cyberpunk. Now, don't get me wrong, Cyberpunk is a beautiful game. It's one of the
Yeah.
best looking games I've seen. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful on a surface, but at launch, it was a disaster because when you look deeper into it, it was just probably one of the buggiest games that I've ever seen. And the to where you could get it to where it was playable, you needed to have at least a decent PC build.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And even the developers of Cyberpunk mentioned that. They said we developed it with a PC mentality. And then they had to downscale it to console because, you got to appeal to a broader audience, of course. It brings in more people and it generates more revenue, of course. You got to appeal to most people who are interested. It's good entry level for people who are interested in, RPGs. But I'd like to think the way that they developed it, it just it completely fell flat on its face. I would
Right.
say. Whereas
Yeah.
Rockstar, on the other hand, with how I mean, it's a grand achievement that they somehow got Red Dead 2 to run on the PS4, even if it's a jet engine. That's an achievement in
Yeah.
itself. So, but thing is, they developed it
Well, and that's the
on
thing.
consoles first.
They can
They
develop.
optimized it. They
Right.
actually optimized it.
Yeah. But the thing
So
is, they can develop these new games for last gen hardware. How old is the PS4 at this point? Like 13 years?
how old is it
It
now?
launched in
It's now
2013. It's 11 years old.
11 years, yeah.
Yeah. 11-year-old hardware, and that stuff is weak. Weak. It was not
It's
cutting edge
it's
back then.
it's crazy to me how it's crazy to me how Fortnite is still being supported and Call of Duty is still being
Yeah.
supported on those consoles. And here's the thing, Call of Duty now, at this point, they just announced for Black Ops 6, they announced that there's not going to be theater mode and there's not going to be split screen. Because I guess those are somehow hardware
They're more
limitations.
taxing.
I guess that makes sense because you have another
Instance
player.
that you have to, yeah, deal with.
You have to, yeah, so that makes sense. And The hard drive is another thing too.
Of course. Yeah.
That's HDD drives. That's
But the thing is, like, last gen hardware is still relevant. That's the thing. With modern games, last gen hardware is still relevant.
that's what's frustrating is because okay, I bought these consoles so that way I can, have the higher refresh rate, have the higher frame rate,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, you know, more opportunities to play games, explore worlds in a different way than we have before.
Right.
Like the only thing that I can think of at this point where that we're going to get some type of innovation for this generation of consoles is Rockstar Games' Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
That's
That
all I
wouldn't
can think
surprise
of.
me.
So what and the criteria that my brain is telling me is that they are going to do what Red Dead Redemption 2 did, but on a much more grander scale.
Right.
Because in that game, you could do pretty much anything. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know if you can go into like every single building in Red Dead 2. I don't remember if you can. I don't think you can.
I'm not sure. I
But
don't remember.
I'm wondering if Rockstar is going to approach their level design where you can go into multiple buildings and multiple rooms, and I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if they are, or if they're just going to have a much more greater emphasis on just open world.
There's no way they support last gen hardware, right?
No, they're not. No, because there's no way that it could run on that. Even Digital Foundry, I think, made
So,
a video on.
so do you think that that this game is going to move a lot of people over to current gen hardware?
That's the thing. Okay, so theory goes at the moment is Rockstar and its developers, they're trying to get people to stop working from home and pulling them back into their development studio
Right.
to finish up production, of course, which they've already done that probably years ago after Red Dead Redemption 2 launched. So they're probably right now, I would say, they're just either finalizing gameplay details and fixing bugs. That's
Mhm.
my guess at this point.
Yeah, they would have that would have to be because
Here's Rockstar always gets the dates wrong for their releases. It's usually like 2 years after they announce the game. That's usually how long it takes.
yeah.
That's usually it. It
But
really is.
this game is expected in the near future, isn't it?
My guess is the game is either going to come out in November
Mhm.
or October of 2025.
Okay. So like a
If
year
worse
away.
comes to worse, so we're probably going to get another trailer sometime this year,
Mm.
and it'll be fascinating to look at, more of the world, more of the gameplay, if they even show any, and the graphical achievements that they have. But my guess is it would be slated for fall of 2025, and if worse comes to worse, they would probably slate it again for fall of 2026. And by that time, we're already going to be 6 years into, this console's
Well,
generation.
they released Red Dead Redemption 2 right at the end of the last console generation. 2 years
Two
left
years,
in its
2
life.
years before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, honestly, yeah, probably they may do something like that again.
We would be
Here's
halfway
another,
through this console generation, basically, at that
yeah,
point.
and what was it for the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, I guess you could say? Apparently, there's more leaks that are surrounding that. They said that they were going to announce their next console sometime next year, and it was going to release in like May or April or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be the exact same hardware as the PS4, or a little bit more powerful as the PS than the PS4.
Mhm.
Probably something in line with like the PS4 Slim or the PS4 Pro. That's
Yeah.
my guess. But I mean, hey, if I can play my Nintendo Switch games on much more powerful hardware, I'm all for that. I
Of
mean,
course, yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
But
the Switch has the most titles out of any system as far as I know, like besides PC.
it's I mean, I don't know. What do you think is the better platform for indie developers? I think Xbox is better for that.
It
I think they're more
seems like
accessible.
it. Like it seems like they're really trying to, especially more recently, devote more resources to indie
Attention.
developers.
Yeah. I don't know. The Switch is good for indie games. I will say that.
Well, the Switch has basically every game that's come out in the last 8 years on it,
I know. It's
including
now
AAA games that should not be able to run on it.
here's what was it? Fortnite. My girlfriend, she tried playing Fortnite with me,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, I don't know if it's her Switch or not, but I told her that the OLED model that I have, it's the exact same hardware except the screen is a little bit prettier. That's it. That's all I told her.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I need to test it out on my Switch to see if it's this bad. On the newest season of Fortnite, when she tries to play Battle Royale, it
Mm.
takes her like 2 minutes to load in, and
Oh my gosh.
it has nothing to do with internet connection. It doesn't. I know this because I have decent internet speed. I know this because I load in fast. I load in quick into my Fortnite games. I do. I load
Yeah.
in the second the battle bus this I load into the island lobby
Mm-hmm.
before the battle bus, starts and everything.
Yeah.
She loads in after the battle bus has left the island.
Oh my gosh.
So she's already in the storm.
Oh no.
So, and then on top of that, when she lands, all the buildings are the level of detail system that they utilize for that, it's chalked. It's so chalked.
Yeah.
So is it a hardware limitation? I think it is to some extent. Or it's the fact that the Switch is not powerful enough to run Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, the hardware is really starting to show its age because it was
It's
old back when they introduced the Switch. Like I
well,
think it
even
was
then,
1 to 2 years old at that point, maybe
well,
3.
when Fortnite came out in 2018 on the Switch, I think it was in 2018.
Sounds
30
right.
FPS, 30 FPS, but hey, the game was playable. You
Yeah.
could see people. You could actually look out in the distance and see people.
Mm-hmm.
It was a better version than mobile. It was. It was the middle ground between console and mobile.
Yeah.
Now, it's honestly, in my opinion,
Disaster.
it's the worst version to play Fortnite on. Worst. And
Oh
I
my
here's the
gosh.
thing. I know I get in off topic a lot, but I do genuinely enjoy talking about it on the podcast and
Yeah,
everything. But I have been playing a little bit more Fortnite lately, and I've been having a blast.
that's good.
It's I don't know what it is, but with this, I don't like battle royale. I prefer 6v6 multiplayer respawn game modes, but
Mm-hmm.
um, for some reason, I've been having a lot of fun with Fortnite battle royale this time around, and I think it's because I just want to load into a game, find people, and I think honestly, it was my girlfriend that convinced me. She just said, "Oh, you just drop on the map, you find loot, and then you go hunt people." For me, when I played Fortnite since it came out,
Mm-hmm.
I was, I guess you could say, more conservative, and I didn't play aggressively.
Mm.
Now, I don't even care about my health. I just run around and I try to hunt people down, and that's it. And it's fun.
That's
And I
cool.
end up winning. I won like 3 or 4 games in a row
Ha.
by just doing that. And they may or may not have been bots. I don't know. Some of them looked like bots, other times they looked like real players, but I don't know, but I had a blast. But as we segue back into this,
Yeah.
I don't know what Nvidia's trying to do. Are they trying to combat scalpers with this price?
I don't
I
know.
have I don't know because here's the thing. Scalpers for one thing might not be able to afford this.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, it's just such a big price tag. Like,
Is it
and
is
I
it the
think all you
second
need
coming of
is
Jesus
this.
Christ? I mean,
If you want to play games that you don't own, that you're licensing, because that's how PC games are, and so on, you might as well get one of these, because it's like the Series S is the best value in gaming. Everybody knows this. Um, it's what, down to $250 now if you buy it from a normal retailer on sale.
I think the PS5 is now $350 if you buy from Sony. Just the regular PS5 now.
Oh wow, let's see.
I heard that. I heard about that. I might be wrong, but it was like a refurbished PS5, I think.
Mm,
I might be wrong. I heard
PlayStation
news
5.
about it.
That's the Pro. Digital
Yes.
edition, NBA.
2K25. I want to watch
Digital
all the sweat
edition.
pour down that guy's face.
The digital edition is $399. The regular one is $399. Get an extra 50
Not
bucks
that.
off when you trade in your PS4.
That's not it. It's different. It's got to be something else.
I don't know. Deal. You get a deal.
Let me do an El Goog as well. Let me check.
Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, all you need to get into next gen gaming is a Series S. And there are there are plenty of good games on Series S that you can play. And you know, if you like us and you like more powerful hardware, then Series X. It's pretty simple.
Okay. Here's your little bit if you want to tune into my stream.
Yep.
So Sony has officially launched and certified refurbished PS5 consoles on PlayStation Direct, and you can get one for as little as $350.
I mean, that's not bad. That's really
So
good,
let's go to-
actually.
Let's go to PlayStation Direct then. Let's check this out. Here it is, certified refurbished consoles. As good as new. $399, $350. For the digital edition, $350.
Yeah.
So it's basically, if you look here, it's basically this model. This one right here.
Yeah.
Which I think is
the fat
also
one.
the one that, yeah, the fat one. The PS5 fat.
Well, check this out. The
That's pretty cool.
it's 300 on bless you, on Xbox's website for a Series S. And obviously the Series S is less powerful than the PS5, the regular PS5 or PS5 Slim. I mean the all digital one, less powerful than the all digital PS5.
Yeah.
But it can do modern games, right? And it seems like they're willing to support it. Now, if you want more powerful hardware, and you're a geek and a nerd like me,
You would buy a Steam Deck.
you buy. Yeah, well, yeah, I have a Steam Deck too, but like this, $600, and it makes sense because the storage price for an extra terabyte. I don't know if you saw that, but I sent you that it was on sale. Did you see that?
I know.
The storage was
I
on
did.
sale.
I did see it, but I want a 2 terabyte one. I don't want a 1
I didn't
terabyte.
realize that.
I wanted a 2
He
terabyte.
wants 3 terabytes of storage.
I
Got it.
want 3 terabytes. This PS5 has, I think, 4 terabytes of storage. I might be wrong.
Oh my gosh!
No, hang on, 3. Sorry, 3 terabytes.
I was about
My
to
bad.
say,
This-
what? How many
this
games do you have
has-
for that thing?
Look, I can play all my Call of Duty games just fine now. So
Oh my gosh,
this is
that's
another
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
this is another problem too. I wonder how much. I wonder for GTA 6. I wonder what the
200
how much
gigs, no
storage-
less.
You think
I don't know.
it's got to be like 150. It's got to be less
Probably.
than Call of Duty because
Probably.
COD is like 200 plus now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, they made a problem and they're marketing a solution. This is another thing too. I will give Xbox props. They have not fallen into that. At least I think.
Yeah, so far it
No?
seems like they're not creating problems to solve.
So far, and I
Yeah.
think that's yeah.
It seems like they had a lot of problems with Xbox One, and now they're recovering. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. Like they're releasing games like there's no tomorrow, and then they've got the new Series X. I mean, it's not new anymore, but the Series X and the Series S are, I think, just taking things in the correct direction. Like it's powerful consoles. They're powerful consoles, and
It's a cheaper entry point. It's just a much cheaper entry point. The subscription service is cheaper than the PS5. $60 a year compared to the $80 a year on PS Plus. And that's just for the online play alone.
yeah. Well, and it
So
sounds
that's
like they're gonna
ridiculous.
make online play free, and all you're gonna have to pay for with Game Pass is the games, right? So if you want online
If
play, you
they
don't have to pay for anything, and you just buy Game Pass to get games.
if they do that, are they actually considering doing that?
It's a rumor more than anything, but if they did
Dude,
that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
you know how much good press they would get if
Oh my
they did
gosh,
that?
yeah,
And PlayStation, I have a feeling they would just their job would drop. I have a
yeah.
feeling that their job would drop, and they'd be like, "You can't do that. You can't."
That's
I have a feeling
anti-competitive.
they would probably do something like that. I have a feeling that they
Lawsuits.
would because, they were for like a year straight. They were trying to prevent Microsoft from buying Call of Duty. Granted, in my honest opinion, I don't think that them purchasing COD really did all that much. But aside from hey, we all get to
Well, we'll
play this
see.
game
We'll see
on
with them
console.
purchasing COD because they're gonna add it to Game Pass, right?
Well, that is true because right now the rumor is, well, not a rumor. For Black Ops 6 right now, they have a huge problem with hackers because
Mm.
people can buy the $1 Game Pass subscription on a new account each time, get
Is this on
cheats.
PC?
This is on,
PC
I
Game
think,
Pass?
PC Game Pass and then also probably Xbox Game Pass as well to some extent.
Huh.
Now, thing is, Call of Duty with their anti-cheat system, they've gotten a lot smarter with it lately. So I don't know why they should just use easy anti-cheat like every other game. But I mean, hey, rather not have a monopoly. But they're hardware banning them now,
Mm.
so that's good.
Yeah.
As long that's a good thing. I'm all for that. I don't know why people like to cheat. You just ruin the fun for everyone else. If you're going to mess around with hacks and cheats, do it in a private lobby. Just do that. Just have fun, but don't ruin the matchmaking for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But
So the moral of the story for this topic, this discussion for me is PC hardware is kind of in a sorry state. Like Intel processors blowing up, and they're just barely getting around to fixing it, and AMD having a lackluster offering this time around, and Nvidia cards jumping in price and AMD cards following, and it's
now
all kind of a disaster.
I guess you could say we're in a point now. We're at a point now where I guess, it's good to be a console gamer
Yeah,
in
I
some
agree. I
sense.
think that's
But
the way to go. Console gaming
but
right now.
but the thing is, the console games that have come out lately just
They're kind of
there's
lackluster.
they are lackluster. There's no real innovation, I would say. Okay, you
Yeah,
get a couple pretty extra pixels and you get a higher frame rate.
right.
That's not a selling point.
PlayStation
You
has
got
not been doing particularly well with their console releases.
I mean, you could probably say the same thing for Xbox Starfield.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna say that.
They have things lined up, and we'll see how they go. But yeah, so far, I mean, yeah, I agree.
Oh gosh, what a wonderful world.
So, do you want to move on to? Do we have anything to discuss for politics? I don't remember.
Well, the only thing that I can remember, and I think I talked about it earlier with you, was I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if it was while we were recording or before, but I heard that there is what was it? Your dad texted it to us
Oh wait. We
that
got to do the disclaimer. We got to do the disclaimer. We
oh
got
yeah, the disclaimer, of course. Leave if you don't like politics.
yes,
Leave.
yes.
Trust me, this is for your own sanity. If you don't like this portion, you can end the podcast. Thank you for listening.
Yep, we
We're about to
appreciate
move
you
on
for
to
listening
another.
this far.
We're about to move on to a section that people may or may not like.
Yeah.
So, but we are only here to inform. We don't inject our opinions.
Well, we'll try
So
not to, at least.
we try not to. To some extent, we do like to have independent minds and
Well, and chances
have
are if you think about it hard enough, you'll be able to decipher our political opinions. But
yeah,
that's just the nature
people
of the thing.
well, people who are watching this, they may know us and they know exactly what our viewpoints are, but it may be obvious.
Yeah.
But anyways, putting that aside, what I did hear was that your dad, he texted us about the what is it, 25 days before the presidential election, Donald Trump will be appearing on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
interesting.
that is going to break the internet.
Yeah.
Probably more than that moment in time when Tucker Carlson interviewed Vladimir Putin, I would say.
Yeah. Well, and Trump's
'Cause-
never been on Joe Rogan's podcast, has he?
No, Rogan in the past, at least if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a lot of clips. That's my source. I totally made it up. I've seen clips where he's like, "No, I'm not going to interview Trump on the podcast. I'm not."
Yeah.
And
Well, and this
I-
is according to Elon Musk, isn't it? That he will.
yeah, according to Elon Musk. If we want to pull up the tweet, we can pull it up, I guess. Let's see. Let me look at your dad's text message. What was it?
And just as a quick aside, Elon came up on stage with Trump during a rally. That was kind of interesting. It was pretty funny actually. He was
Isn't that the
jumping
same
all over
area,
the place.
the same area where he got shot at or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. Butler,
I don't mean to laugh,
Pennsylvania, I
but
think it was.
I don't
Yeah.
mean to laugh, but that's
Yeah,
bad.
he went back and he was like, and as I was saying, like he didn't
As I was
finish. He didn't finish what he was gonna say when he got shot at. But
Okay, so our source is apparently Colin Rugg on Twitter.
yeah, it was kind of interesting to see him up on stage. He's like, "You guys got to go out and vote," I say. And, that's I would say that's a good thing to say. Everybody should go out and vote and get their 2 cents in, cuz, it's important that we collectively pick who we think is the right person for the job, and it's kind of our job to do that. I completely understand being fed up with politics, though. That's hit us all. Politics have gotten especially bad in the last decade or so. So yeah,
It's gotten
understandable.
worse,
He's still looking
Here's
up the
the-
tweet. Here we go.
Here's the tweet. Wait, no, that's not it. That's different. Crud.
Okay. It's hard to find. I don't know. Let's see. I don't even
that
know.
is.
We probably don't need to pull it up.
No,
It's made the rounds.
Let me message it
This
to
is
myself.
Colin Rugg. Colin
Yeah,
Rugg.
this is-
New. Elon Musk says a Joe Rogan interview with Trump will happen before the election. Comment
what it
came in
said.
response to a Zero Hedge report saying Rogan has 25 days to interview Trump. Rogan had previously said he would be open to having Trump on his show and already has a list of questions he would ask. Quote, I would like to know what is it like when you actually get into office? I would like to know things like what is it like versus perception? End quote. And then he's got another quote. When do you know that people are effing with you? When do you know that the intelligence agencies are lying to you? When you decided to fire Comey, what was the thought?
Maybe. Okay, good. That's
oh my
good.
gosh. Yeah.
Okay,
there
here's
you
the
go.
clip.
Oh yeah, he's got a sound clip here. Hopefully this picks up. Lowest quality. That's what we need.
720p.
So when you having Trump on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The
I
look
don't know.
looks
Maybe.
like you got something.
Maybe.
Okay, good. That's good. I think that's
Look, at a certain point in time, it's just like it would be interesting to hear his perspective on a lot of things. I would like to know, what is it like when you actually get into office. I would like to know things like what is it like versus perception.
yeah.
What is it actually like when you get in that building? Like what are you greeted with? When do you know that people are with you? When do you
Oh,
know
sorry.
the intelligence
Bleep.
agency is lying to you? Like when you decide
If
to
you want to
fire
bleep that
Comey,
out, power
how
vetting,
much
snip that out.
do you know?
Whatever.
Like what's machine like? What is the deep state really like? Really like? Because we have all these, smoky room perceptions, like from the Bill Hicks joke, where they show you the Kennedy assassination from an angle you've never seen before. You know, what is the machine that runs this country? Because it's very clear that it's not as simple as elected representatives that are doing the will of the people. It's not.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I wish
The one
I
for-
I had that showing for more of that, but I got it at the end, so oh well. Yeah,
I mean, here's the tweet. I mean,
it's kind of
yeah.
interesting. Like I don't know.
I'll give it a watch. It better be like 3 hours because I don't want it to be 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think I've ever watched a full Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, I've seen clips here and there, but it's like, I don't know. And I know a lot of people watch it, right? Isn't it the most watched podcast in the world?
I think so. Let me check Spotify. It should be the #1 Spotify playlist or podcast, I guess you could say.
So, I mean, it could be
You-
really big, and depending on, what's said on that podcast, it could influence the direction that this election takes. I know it's
You got to take into account. So you got to take into account all the other factors that are in play for this election.
yeah.
There was 2 assassination attempts by what's the guy's I forgot
I don't remember their names.
there was a joke that was going around. I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh, it'll come to me. But uh the assassination attempts and him getting prosecuted, of course. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All that
Wow.
stuff happened in 1 year.
And then we could argue about how much the vice presidential debate influenced things, and
Oh,
even the
sorry.
presidential
Lee
debate.
I figured it out. Lee Tardy Oswald.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
That's the ongoing joke at the moment for the assassin. We had 2 Lee Tardy Oswalds going on at the moment. So,
Well, and then Kamala has been going around, and also like she's been on some talk shows and stuff, and she's been doing a couple interviews, and Biden like stepped in on one as well. He was like he was doing his own thing. That maybe there was a miscommunication or something, but he kind of like interrupted Kamala in a way. He came out for the first time ever in his presidency, and it was in a specific situation. It was like the briefing room or something that he came out of, and it was during one of Kamala's speeches. So every news network swept over to Biden. It's like, was that on purpose? Is he trying to be?
is he trying to run again, or
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the play?
Well, and then they
exactly?
asked him at the end, are you something like, are you gonna run again or something? And he said, oh yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, it came across as kind of sarcastic, but
That's what I was
he's
thinking.
kind of he was kind of forced out of the race, right?
I have a feeling that's my theory. That's my tinfoil hat theory. I feel like he was kind of forced out
I
of the
mean,
race.
AOC came out and she's like, yeah, there was a coup to get him out of the race. I think that's what she said.
Okay, if of all people AOC said that, then I have a feeling that's kind of believable to some extent.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, if you were forced out of the presidential race, and he was in it, he was going. He was like, even after he went through that debate with Trump, and he kind of died on stage. It's like he was still in it. He was ready to go, and he was not ready to give up the line of succession there. So it's like, I
We
don't know.
finally beat Medicare.
Yeah, you beat it to death.
There was a
Uh,
what was it? It's a show. It's called the Kill Tony podcast or something. I forgot what it was called, but it's like a comedy event where they bring in like few potential comedians, I guess you could say, and they write jokes and they present it for a minute on stage. Anyways, there was one with comedian Adam Ray and then Shane Gillis, which I've sent a couple of clips to you about Shane Gillis.
Mhm.
But there was a joke that Adam Ray made here. I could probably pull an image up for you. That way you have an idea of what he looks like. But this guy right here, he played as Joe Biden in one of his skits on Kill Tony, and he said, "Oh, the prices are high, they're low." It's so dumb, but he portrayed Joe Biden perfectly. Oh, and he also he does a really good Dr. Phil impression too. So
Oh yeah, there it is, right
there,
there.
yeah. He does
Oh my
a really
gosh.
good
That's funny.
Joe Biden.
Wild times. We're doing it. We're doing it though. We're doing. We do. We. Yeah, I can't have water after 4 p.m. What we did when we for the COVID. What we did for COVID. We beat Medicare. Who just my pants? I got tons of black friends. Hey. You want a knuckle sandwich?
Oh shit!
Okay, anyways, you get the gist. You get the point. I'll stop.
That was pretty funny. So yeah,
Yeah.
this election is
on the
going to be a
inside.
crazy one, and I have absolutely zero idea of which direction it's going to go. And you've
I-
got polling
like I-
saying all sorts of things, and
Like I mentioned to you before, during election day,
Yep.
I'm not going to pay. Even the day before, actually, even the week of, I'm not going to pay attention to any news media. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. No polls, nothing. I'm just going to fill out my ballot, and then I'm going to go to the mail center or the polls or whatever,
yeah,
our little center that we live nearby. Just going to drop my ballot off, and I'm not going to watch any news, anything like that. I don't want to know who's winning. I don't want to know who's losing. I don't want to know until like the day after.
mm-hmm.
So
Well, and this is the
That's-
first presidential election we'll ever vote in, right? So,
that's yeah. Even
and I just
for
got my ballot yesterday, and or today, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, this is cool! I get to vote."
my younger brother, he's also voting.
Yeah.
He's also voting
Yep.
too.
So is mine. Yeah.
So, I mean, this will be the first time I'm voting for a president, which that's
It's crazy to
I
think,
mean,
right?
that's something, and it also means that there's a lot of stupid people out there that are voting for a president
Yeah.
because they can't make informed decisions for themselves. So,
Yeah.
I guess, the viewers or the listeners, they probably have an idea of, to some extent, I'd like to think that they don't, of how we think and what we put first over anything. But, I mean,
You should take that political compass quiz I sent you.
I did see that. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, and your dad's probably going to be ashamed of me for saying this, but there was some terms on there that I'm sorry, I don't have the intelligence for. Like,
Well,
what
you
is
just look
that?
them up.
Sure.
Some of the
I mean,
questions
I'm
were
willing-
terrible. Like they were so
I'm willing-
bad.
I'm willing to be honest. There was some stuff that I just didn't understand, and I had to look up, and I'm like, oh, that's what this is. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm against that.
Yeah.
So, I'll take it and I'll post it. I'll put it in the group chat for you guys just to see. But I'm sure it'll be in line with what you guys had put down, of course.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
So,
Well, is that all we've got for today?
I mean,
It's
how
10:55 p.m.
it is. Oh my gosh, we've been recording for quite some time now at
Yeah,
this
what are
point.
we at here? We're at
I'm an hour 30 in.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
I mean, hey, we I remember before we started recording when I was doing my homework, you were like, "Oh, let's only do an hour."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hey. We covered
made
a lot.
We made it. We covered a lot.
Yeah. And I always enjoy getting on here and doing this type of thing because it gives me an excuse to talk to you and catch up. It's
Yeah.
always nice.
Yeah. And we're pulling in some views. Our most viewed video, the first one, has 52 views, which is just fine.
I wonder what the watch time rate is on that. I know for a fact that my mom, my girlfriend, I don't know if your dad,
Yeah.
but
He's
my
watched them all
mom
the
and my
way through.
girlfriend, yeah, they've watched them all the way through. So I mean, that obviously will boost our, not really, but the
Yeah,
engagement,
it
I
boosts
guess you
things a
could
little
say.
bit. Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit, but
Well, I'm excited to publish this one, so we have 4 on there
yeah,
instead of just 3.
this will be nice.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Well, anything else to
all right.
declare?
Only thing I have to say is I'm ready to go to bed.
Same here.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Time to
That's
sleep
about
in.
it. That's all I can. Yeah. Oh, sleep in.
Yep.
That'd be so nice.
And I'll try to get this puppy out tomorrow. So
Oh, well, take your time. Don't worry about it.
So we'll see you
So-
all then. We appreciate you sticking around. And if you have anything to add in the comments, like we said, feel free to add anything. And any tips, tricks, or just general advice would be
Any feedback?
Yep, will be well taken. We would be happy to hear what suggestions you have for the podcast and topics or whatever. Also, comments boost the algorithm, so if you think the discussions we have are fun and enlightening, then feel free to leave a comment, and that'll push it to more people that can think the same thing, maybe. So once again, thanks for sticking with us, and this is Logan.
And this is Nelson.
And that's it. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.